Self-love isn't selfish, it's important. It's you standing in your purpose and feeling your truth even though it makes others uncomfortable. You are enough. You are worthy. You are powerful. And always remember that. Ready, set, glow. Hi, guys. It's Lindsay here. Welcome to another episode of Slace's podcast. And this episode, we'll be talking about imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? I have a definition for you guys right here. Hold on. Imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. It affects the high achieving people who find it difficult to accept their accomplishments. Many question whenever they're deserving of their accolades. There are 5 different tiers of imposter syndrome, and I'm gonna define them for you. But first, I want to speak about, me having imposter syndrome. And I feel like I still do, especially when it comes to, my podcast and to, other goals I'm trying to achieve. Because I do get scared. Sometimes I fear my own potential, and that's something I'm working on. And sometimes I feel like I'm not worthy of this opportunity or worthy to be in this space. I want to say, a couple of weeks ago, I went to a writing workshop, and it was a really good writing workshop. I met a tons of different Black women. It was really empowering. It was by Black Girl Smoke, so we smoked, we wrote, and stuff like that. But I wasn't gonna go, and I was telling myself, you don't really need to go to this event, da 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 da. And I'm like, you're not, basically that was me telling myself I wasn't worthy. But I feel like I got to meet people and also got to smoke. And it was actually a really good vibe. But I still felt like in my writing, I, like, I've heard so many stories, and it was really a beautiful vibe, and to be there and hearing the girls' stories was really what I needed. And I don't really be in so many spaces, especially Black women, and I feel like being there, I got to know myself a little bit better, and it made me feel a little bit more comfortable within myself that I need to be in these spaces more. I am worthy of this opportunity. I just have to, sometimes you just have to just go. Just do it, just go, just do it with fear and stuff like that. But I was really happy that I went, even though I feel like I did hold back a little bit with my writing because I suck at being vulnerable, and I am working on that, and it's okay. Everything takes time. That's what I'm learning. And Rome wasn't built in a day. So, here are the 5 different categories for imposter syndrome. The first one is the perfectionist. The perfectionist sets high goals for themselves, and when they fail to reach these goals, they experience major self-doubt and disappointment. Also better known as the control freak. If you think you're the perfectionist, which I feel like I am, because I want everything to be perfect. If something's off, I don't like it. I can't do it. I'm always looking for the perfect time, right time, or whatever. That's you. I want you guys to also ask yourself these questions. Question 1. Have you been accused of being a micromanager? 2. Do you feel like your work must be 100% perfect 100% of the time? If you answered yes to both of those questions, or at least one, you're a perfectionist. And I recently found this quote, and it said, perfect is the enemy of being done, which means your thing could be you could have a goal, but it's never going to be perfect. Like anything you want to do, just do it. Do it out of fear. Just fucking do it. And I feel like with that, like, perfect is the enemy of being done. Like, nothing's perfect. Like, even us as people, we're imperfect. We all come with flaws. So everything that you're trying to achieve comes with a flaw. Regardless of, like, how you're gonna get there and what you do to achieve it. Nothing is perfect. So you have to be open-minded, not be too hard on yourself. That's where being gentle with yourself also plays a huge role. Like, you know what? I have this goal and I have to do this to get there. But you can't be, there's no such thing as being perfect, because you have to leave room for you to make mistakes. And it's perfectly okay to make mistakes, because you want to know why? That's how we learn. We all learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes. Sorry, I probably sound repeated. But learning from your mistakes. It's not a L. You're not losing when you make a mistake. It's a lesson. You learn how to do something better, but lose the perfection. Okay. Category 2. The superwoman or Superman. They often push themselves to work harder and harder. They measure up to this as a false cover-up for them. For their insecurities. And the work overload may not only harm their mental health, but their relationships too. I have questions again. Do you get stressed when you're not working and find downtime completely wasteful? Have you left your hobbies and passions fall by the wayside, sacrificed to work? If this is you, if you answered these questions yes and yes, you're a Superman or a Superwoman. The next one is the natural genius. If they take a long time to master something, they feel shame. I want to say I had this problem during, like, the pandemic. I took a lash class, and you know what? Shout out to the lash techs, y'all, because doing lashes is a fucking art, and that shit takes fucking time, let me tell you. Like, learning how to isolate the individual lash and not fucking up their natural lash, girl. And then, like, I always try to have the positive mindset, like, okay, I'm gonna do great, I'm gonna do this and stuff like that. But then when I get into, like, the actual action, and I don't feel like I'm doing great, and I get insecure and stuff like that, I tend to beat myself up, like, come on, you should be good at this. But then also too, I have to remind myself, like, girl, you ain't never did lashes in your life. Why are you beating yourself up? Like, you don't know, you're still learning. It's okay. Take your time. But also too, like, me doing that, I figured out that I really didn't want to do lashes. It's a good skill to have, though. I'm glad I took the class because I learned more about myself. But also too, when you're starting something new, don't beat yourself up. Listen, the expert was once a beginner. The next one. Oh wait, I didn't answer the question. Sorry, guys. Also similar to perfectionists, they judge themselves based on ridiculous expectations. They also judge themselves based on getting things on their first try when they're not able to do something quickly. Questions. Are you excelling without much effort? Were you told frequently as a child that you were the smart one in the family or in your peer group? Those are the questions. The next one. is the soloist. The soloist suffers who feels as though asking for help reveals their phoniness. It's okay to be independent, but not to the extent that you refuse assistance so that you can prove your worth. Yeah. I just feel like, yeah, I probably have all of them because heavy on the imposter syndrome. I suck at asking for help. I feel like when I ask people for help, I'm bothering them, and I don't want to like bother them because I know everyone has their life and we all have things that we have to get done for ourselves, and I would just rather do it myself. Like, especially if someone, I'm also impatient, so like if someone's taking their time with something that I needed help with, and people don't always do it the right way, like, even though I think this is where I get a little controlling when it comes to like I like things a certain way. It really is my way or the highway, but I'm like nobody's gonna do it how I'm gonna do it, and I'm trying to learn to relinquish my control issues, but it's hard because it's like, if I could do it myself, why am I asking you? Why? But also, too, this comes from another quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Go. If you want to go far. If you want to go slow, go together. And I feel like I do eventually down the road, I want to build a team of powerful women that are going to help me achieve like more goals in my brand. But guys, I'm still learning. This podcast is healing and learning, self-discovery. I'm still learning that it's okay to ask for help. Because sometimes I feel bad when I ask people for help. Because I'm like, they could be doing so much, like, with their lives. And then it's like, I interrupted what they were doing with them. But it's also, too, I'm also an overthinker. So, the questions. Sorry, guys. The questions for soloists. Do you firmly feel that you need to accomplish things on your own? Yes, I do feel that way. I don't need anyone's help. Does that sound like you? Yes, that does sound like me. I'm telling you, this is me. And lastly, the experts. The expert measures their competence based on what and how much they know or can do. Believing they will never know enough, they fear being exposed as inexperienced or unknowledgeable. You know what it is? It's okay if you don't know everything. That's why we have search engines. Or like people who are like educated on their subjects. Like, you ever met somebody who was like really into like something and you're like, wow, how do you know so much? It's because they thoroughly went and did research and they asked somebody else. But it's okay. Listen, if you're not here to know everything. You are not Albert Einstein. You are yourself. And it's okay to master certain things. And I'm learning too, you're not going to master everything, especially quickly. It's totally okay to take your time. Trust your process, no one else's. Your process, yours, okay? Yours. Fuck whatever someone else is doing. Because you don't know what they went through. You don't know what they did to get where they where they what they did to get where they at. Focus on you. Focus on you, love. And the questions are, do you shy away from applying to jobs? Oh, sorry. Do you shy away from applying to job postings unless you meet every single educational requirement? Are you constantly seeking out trainings or certificates because you think you need to improve your skill in order to succeed? Girl, you got this. And it's okay. I keep on saying it's okay, but it really is okay. Sometimes you just have to give yourself the high five and understand that you are that girl and you are that bitch, and you came a long way. As long as you're not where you were last year, you improved in your skill. Who gonna check you? Nobody. And that's gold. I have some tips to help you with your imposter syndrome. Ow. Tip number 1. Focus on the facts. Imposter syndrome makes you feel like you aren't good enough at your job, but often these feelings are often based on fear, not your reality. Because when you're fearful of something, you tend to psych yourself out, like not going for that job, not working on that project, not doing, like, say if you want to be an actor, not going to the audition when you know you're qualified and you could do it. And also, too, not letting other people project their fears onto you. Like, I remember, like, I had my podcast idea since 2018. And I want to say, like, 2019, like, before, like, we got shut down before COVID in 2020, I had a close family friend, like, say, oh, what are you going to do? There's a lot of podcasts out there. And I let her project that fear onto me. And it made me, like, I got really insecure and stuff like that. I didn't know she was projecting, but, like, no. Don't let nobody put none of that musty, crusty energy into your dreams. Do it scared. Prove yourself wrong, because you have nothing to prove to nobody else, to nobody but yourself. Prove yourself wrong. Focus on that. Tip 2. Acknowledge, validate, and let go. Don't ignore your emotions. Validate, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. And then let go. So you're going to validate it. You're going to state You're going to you're going to acknowledge the problem. Like, okay, this is what it is. You're going to validate yourself and say, it's okay that I feel this way. And then you're not going to cry over spilled milk. You're going to be like, you're going to let that shit go. Number 3. Share how you're feeling. When you keep your feelings a secret, it grows bigger and harder to deal with. You might find someone who has also experienced imposter syndrome. You know what? We all go through imposter syndrome, and I want people to be more open about it and talk about it. They may not really feel comfortable because they're like, oh, who really wants to hear me complain about how I can't achieve my goals, I can't do this. But no, we all go through this. And I think it's important to be able to have these spaces with, if it's like coworkers, family, friends, whoever, like somebody that like that you trust and you know they're not gonna judge you and they're gonna make you feel comfortable, because you are allowed to take up space, sis. You are. Number 4, Look for evidence. Try fighting your feelings with evidence. Imposter syndrome isn't based on facts. So focus on the facts and fight the feeling. Period. Fight the feeling. Like, you are good enough. Fuck that fear. Number 5, look for a mentor to fight imposter syndrome. Try actively improving your skills and soft skills, your hard skills and soft skills. The way, whenever that little voice in your head whispers that you're not good enough at something, you can whisper back, and that you're in the process of getting better. It's okay. I'm in the process of getting better. Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? And throw away that negativity. Woo! Number 6, reframe your thoughts. There are a lot of power in our thoughts. The way we approach the world has the power to shape our reality in both positive and negative ways. Shift the way you speak to yourself. Example, if you made a mistake, tell yourself it's okay and you'll try better next time. Be gentle with you. Be gentle with you. I can't stress that enough. I know it's hard out here, and even when you feel like you're failing, listen. When you fail at something, that's you're learning. And you're giving yourself the tools to start over, but you're not starting over from scratch. You're starting over from experience. And that's important because you already know the roadmap that didn't work, and then you find better solutions of okay, listen, it didn't work this way, but I could fuck around and do it this way, and it works out way better for you. Number 7, learn from your team, your team members. Don't compare yourself to no one. You aren't in competition. You can learn from your neighbor. And I feel like a lot of people think, especially when you do this industry, there's a lot of people doing podcasts, there's a lot of people doing lashes, there's a lot of people selling weed, there's a lot of people doing different things in different industries. And we're like, oh, that's my competition. Oh, I gotta do it like this, or I can't. Let me see what they're doing over there. Listen, the grass is it's not always greener on the other side. So you really have to focus on what you're doing and not what someone else is doing. And I feel like if you focus on what someone else is doing, you're blocking your vision. And what the fuck? Sis, when you block your vision, you block your blessings. Okay? When you block your vision, you block your blessings. You go learn from somebody. And I feel like if people weren't in secret animosities and secret competitions, we could all there's places where we could all eat. That's you may not like how I speak on my podcast, but you may not like someone else's. That's totally okay. You have to do what works for you and not what works for me. Listen. Stop watching the other person's plate. Thank you. And lastly, toot your own horn. Clap for yourself. High five yourself. Love yourself. Hug yourself. It's totally okay. Come on. I feel like we tend to praise other people, but we forget about ourselves. And me included, I'm learning how to do that. I'm saying my affirmations, but sometimes that doesn't always work. But you have to be your own cheerleader. You can't look for validation from others. But I want you guys to know, whatever you say, whatever I am statement you say, you become. So be mindful what you say when you say I am. Listen, I am. I'm not going to say no negative shit. I am powerful. I am resilient. I am abundant. I am that bitch. Okay? So, remember, be kind and gentle to you. As you know, I like to write and I like to journal. And you know, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have journal prompts for my Slay Sis gang, my Slay Sisters. So, here we go. The first journal prompt is, what are you most passionate about? I am most passionate about healing and helping others heal, because I feel like as I heal, I want my tribe to heal. I want to break generational curses. I don't want to be stagnant anymore. I just want to live a happy life, happy, healthy life, and just be me while doing it, like standing in my own power. Number 2, what are you most proud of? I'm proud of me starting my podcast and staying consistent, even though sometimes I don't feel like doing shit. Like I really do have these days where, like, you know, Lindsay, you have to post content. Like, you have to post content. I don't feel like doing it. You gotta make content. I don't want to do it. But like they say, when you don't feel like doing something, to do it anyway. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm so happy that I'm continue to do it. And there's so much more. And I fuck with you guys for fucking with me. And I just get, like, honestly, I just get emotional and stuff because I really feel like I came a long way. Even though I tend to be my own worst critic, I'm trying to be my biggest cheerleader too. But, like, I'm learning to pat myself on the back. Be like, yes, bitch, you did that. Like, you really did that. High five myself. Love on me more. Listen, I had a great self-care Saturday. It was beautiful. When I tell you. And the last journal prompt is, make a list of all the things you're good at. Good and valid things you have to offer. So this one was really hard for me because when it comes to like writing good things about myself, it's hard for me versus me going to ask like my friends, my family members. So here's my list. I said I'm a good listener. I don't just listen to respond. I listen to comprehend. Like, I really want to like understand the person who I'm speaking to. Also, like I'm an empath. I'm really empathetic. I feel what the other people are feeling, and when like people are hurt in front of me, like I get sad and I get emotional. I may not always show it, but I do, and yeah, that's one of my assets. Also, I said I look for the solution in every problem. I'm the person that's gonna bitch and cry about it first, but then it's like, okay, girl, what are you doing? I'm always gonna cry about it. Cry first, find a solution right after, because I need to give myself time to like cry. Be like, this is going like this, and I just I need. Sometimes you just need that cry, that good ass cry. Listen. Stop holding in your cries, because that helps you. Helps me think. The next one, I'm resourceful. Like, with anything I do, like, I'm resourceful. Like, I have a lot of insight. Like, I'm very wise. I've been here before. I'm intuitive as fuck. And I'm also in tune with my emotions. But that also stems from me being an empath. I'm a great writer, even though I don't give myself enough credit. But one of my goals in life is to write a book because I really do love poetry, and I want to write like little short stories about like me and stuff like that. That's coming into fruition. And lastly, I'm creative. I'm very creative. Like, I could, even when it comes to like picking out colors, like I just see this thing in my head. I'm like, oh, these colors go together, and then it's beautiful. It's up and it's stuck. I have some affirmations if you are battling with imposter syndrome, and here they go. I have the skill set and willpower to achieve anything I want. I belong here. I recognize my power and strength. I am deserving all that is good and kind. No one is me, and that is my power. I offer a unique perspective to this world. Sorry, I gotta turn the page. I am in competition with no one. I am worthy of love. I love and accept myself unconditionally. I have to do nothing to be worthy. I was inherently worthy. I am a Black woman, and I am allowed to take up space. So, I have this new segment. It's called Making Fetch Happen. And that's when you give people their flowers. So, I want to give flowers to people who are making fetch happen, who are accomplishing their goals, scared, you're fearful, but you're still doing the damn thing. I salute you. I'm proud of you. If no one said I'm proud of you, I love you as much as I love myself. And bitch, you doing it. You doing a good job. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. If they said something else, they fucking hating. And I never met a hater that was doing better than me. So, continue to strive, thrive, be healthy and wealthy. You're filled with abundance. You're beautiful. Your soul is beautiful. And you're going to accomplish all that you want to accomplish. Nobody's telling you nothing. You are that bitch. So make sure you follow Slay Sis on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Slay, SLAY, Sis, SISSS. And if you need any advice, email me at slaysis, SLAYSISS. Did I put more than one S? 3 S's in there? It's 3 S's, girl. 3 S's? Sorry, I'm going to spell it again. SLAYSISS. Podcast, PODCAST @gmail.com. Put in the subject Slay Mail. And if you listen, I'm great with insight. If you need my advice, I also want you guys to include your age because I wanted to make sure it's age appropriate. You don't have to include your name if you want to be. I want to keep it confidential. Nobody really needs to know your name, but you're going to know who you are if you write me a message. So, email me, sis. Come on. You know you want to. And I hope everybody enjoys their days, their work week. And also, a reminder to be gentle with yourself. I love you guys. Bye.